Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha with Ice Cream Fitness here, and quite a few people have requested that Bagpuss and I discuss this product that's being developed right now by the name of Soylent, which seems to be a spin-off from the old sci-fi movie Soylent Green, which is about a food in the future that was actually being made out of dead bodies of old people who were euthanized. So we're going to talk to you guys about that for a few minutes. But hold on, let me give you guys a bicep shot first. And I think a lot of my subscribers wanted to know my take on this one when they've heard about it, because I am very pro-flexible dieting. I don't have a problem with GMO foods. I don't have a problem with processed foods. I think all of these things in moderation will not interfere with health or optimal athletic performance. And because I am pro-transhumanism, I am pro-chemical enhancement. I believe all of our top athletes are on drugs, and they should be on drugs. And that I am looking forward to the day when I can get an implant that will control all of the anabolic hormones and adrenaline and everything in my body at the touch of a fingertip on my computer. I'm looking forward to that day. I welcome it. Now, despite all of that, I don't really have very much nice to say about this product. And that may come as a shock to people in light of the rest of it. And I want to break down why for you guys. And I'm not going to use the ad hominem attacks against the creator. I'm not going to use the naturalistic fallacy, because I am sick of the fucking naturalistic fallacy being used to support diets. It is used to prop up the worst bullshit diets I have ever seen in my life on both extremes. Everything from raw veganism to paleo diets and all this other bullshit. And it has no place in a logical or scientific debate. So we're not even going to discuss that. We're going to leave that alone. My problems are that a few different things. First of all, the idea that we can take a complex of purely synthetic vitamins outside of their environment with the phytonutrients and the way that they are delivered and interact with all the phytonutrients and things in the plants and food is controversial in the nutritional science world, and we do not have a consensus yet as to whether all of those micronutrients can be properly absorbed and metabolized by the human body when taken outside of that natural environment in the food. There are strong arguments and data on both sides of the debate. We do not have a consensus. So until we have a proper consensus on this, thinking that we can get all of our vitamins and minerals this way is jumping the gun a bit. And I'm not saying that it's not going to turn out that we can engineer a proper multivitamin that will do this, but again, we have to prove it. And it has not been proven conclusively. It is still heavily debated, and it still looks like the debate could go either way as more and more data is gathered. So we've got a problem right there. We're already running a risk of, if people are using this as their primary food source, of a risk of nutritional deficiency, despite it having 100% of the recommended daily allowance of all of your vitamins and minerals. All right, the next problem I see, it's being cited as being able to give people more energy, to help with weight loss, to help with stable weight, and all of these other things. And I'm sorry, but again, as someone who is a student of nutritional science, claiming that a food product like this can do that is bullshit. You can do all of that with the foods we already have available. You don't need a special product for that. It's that people are lazy and they don't want to track their food. They don't want to eat properly. They don't want to train. They don't want to exercise. That's why we have these problems. It is not because of the foods we have available. And adding a new product in and claiming it's going to do these things that can be done already doesn't mean that it's going to help people do that, who are too lazy already to do the things that they need to do in order to get those same results. So that part is purely marketing hype, I think. Now, number three, another problem I see is that it's also being touted as having the ability to help with world hunger, because we can produce this synthetically and it can be used to feed all these people, but we already have products that do that fairly well that are a fraction of the cost. And if you're talking about using it for this purpose, who's going to foot that bill? Now, it's my understanding that around $9 per day is going to be the selling price for this. So step back and do the math. We have a couple of billion starving people, but let's say we just take the top 100 million, the worst 100 million in the world, and we give them one of these drinks or packages every day. Do the math. If you take 100 million of those, which is only a tiny fraction of the starving people in the world, the worst 100 million, that is 900 million a day. That is almost $1 billion a day, 365 days a year. That's going to come to over $300 billion a year just to buy this product for this tiny fraction of people. And my question becomes, who's going to foot that bill? Who's going to pay for this product to do that when that same money could be spent on less expensive products that we already have to do this and other food sources that are out there, and we could feed 3, 4, or 5 times as many people for the same amount of money? This isn't economically feasible for that. Maybe in the future a similar product, but the way this product is being marketed, I don't see that really being a viable option. The next thing I'm concerned with is going to be obesity and eating disorders. One, for people who have an aversion to food, such as anorexics and other people who already have an eating disorder, I think a product like this is going to potentially reinforce their eating disorder rather than help them cure it. So I'm already concerned with this right off the top. Number two, we as humans, we have a psychological attachment to our foods. We draw emotional pleasure from eating. We enjoy our textures, our taste. We need that satisfaction of chewing, and when you remove that, people are not going to be satisfied with their food. A small percentage might be, but the majority are not. And we already have an obesity epidemic, and I can almost guarantee you that 90% of the populations in countries that will be able to afford this product, they are not going to get the satiation and satisfaction from it, and they're not going to have a diet adherence of just eating this product. They're probably going to drink their whole product, and they're going to start working in extra food. And if they aren't active, they don't train, because it's liquid calories, there is no chewing, they're going to be stuck with the same flavor or whatever it happens to have, even if there's a diversity of them, the same food over and over and over. People will binge, and they're not going to stick to doing this when put in that environment, and we know that people will do so in that type of situation. So people are going to overeat. It's going to potentially contribute to the obesity problem, not solve it. Now, how does this apply to people in our community, the fitness world, bodybuilding world, powerlifting world, strength athlete world? Well, the only use I can see for this product for us is going to be as a weight gainer when we're bulking, so that we can throw this in on top of our other food. But at 2,400 calories and 80 grams of protein for $9, that is a very, very expensive weight gainer. And no offense to the creator, but a gallon of milk is $2, and a jar of natural peanut butter is another $2. That's 5,000 or 6,000 calories that we can get right there with a lot more protein, a lot more calories for less than half the price of this product. So I'm not really seeing that as a viable selling point for it for people even in our community. Alright guys, but those are my problems with this product. These are the issues I see with it. I am really not optimistic about this particular product in light of all of that. While I think the concept itself is interesting, and I do like to see us try to move forward as a species, I don't think this product is going to be a hit. I think people are going to buy it, but I don't think that's going to be a good thing. I don't see potential positives coming out of this, and I think the negatives are going to far outweigh the positives. Alright guys, so that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it has been informative, and I will talk to you next time.